If you are a working professional, like many, like me, ambitious but lazy, full of ideas but stuck in the place, capable of more but can't seem to move yourself, then in your head, there is this pseudo version of you. This version is disciplined, continuously upgrading career-related skills, switches over to better job, better pay, goes to the gym, lives a better life. And then there is this other version of you, the real one. This version comes back home from work, absolutely tired, mindlessly scrolls through shorts or Insta reels, eats whatever is the easiest available, and then good night, goodbye for the day. Right? So you have ambitions, me too. But when it comes to the daily grind, the motivation just isn't there. The day the equity stock market goes up, you feel better because that day propelled you 0.5% towards one of your ambition to create wealth without any efforts. But on other days, you still feel guilty because you have not done anything more to move towards your dreams, feeling stuck in that frustrating cycle. Here is exactly where I say to myself, only if I had a little more motivation and willpower. Hi, if we haven't met, my name is Amlan Tripathi. 15 years into this working career. 15 years of hop, skip and jumps between ambition over the weekend and just managing to keep the head above the water on weekdays and repeat. Or even better, waiting for a long weekend to make that perfect start and excusing myself till then. If all of these resonated with you, things that you could relate to, then let's get into it. This is possibly the only video that you need with complete clarity of what's going on with you. I have 4 arguments to make and you should come out better on the other side of this video. So stick around like you have been sticking around for many other things in your life. My argument number 1, let's bell the cat straight. It's not laziness, it's fear. The feeling of laziness is almost always procrastination in disguise. Procrastination is really an emotional response. It's the brain attempting to avoid the discomfort of a task. So right when you say, let me open that course which I bought on Udemy or LinkedIn almost a year back, your brain quietly starts running some calculations in the background. Will this be tiring? Will I pass the course evaluation? What if I fail? How uncomfortable am I going to get? The brain then plays the next move. Let's watch a few shorts or some reels or just 5 minutes on that first-person shooter video game. Your brain says, let's think a little bit more on our strategy. But strategy for what? For this stupid little course? My brain is just trying to keep me safe from what it perceives as a threat. Let me know if you could relate to it. If it did, there is a way to overcome this too. Let's move to the next argument for this. The strategy. Ambitious people, people like you and me, we love goals. But goals just by themselves are imperfect. See, just on motivation alone, you and me are most likely to fail. Motivation comes by only for those few days in our lives. Remember those long weekend motivations? What you ought to rather do is build a system, and that system will most likely lead you to your goal. There is a saying that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems that you have built. Goals are about the results, your perceived destination. But the systems that you build, that all are about the process that gets you towards your goals. See, if my goal is to run and grow this YouTube channel, my system would be those 2 to 3 hours which are reserved after dinner every day, even if my lower back aches out of exhaustion. Again, let me know in the comments if I was able to drive this point home. And one like please for my backache. It may help me to feel a little better. Okay, on to the next argument. The foundation, the identity or the mindset shift. This is perhaps the most powerful mindset shift you can make, or rather you have to make. Before you start doing, you must first be. In other words, instead of first focusing on what you want to achieve through the process, you must focus on who you wish to become. Need an example? Take mine for it. I must first register myself as a YouTuber in my own mind before I can start recording on this camera, edit and upload on YouTube tomorrow. Or maybe in your case, you need to identify yourself as a chef before you can work on that gourmet recipe. Hope you are with me on this one, right? The idea that I want to drive here is when you commit to a process, you start to reinforce new identity for yourself. So stop just saying, I need to be more disciplined. Write this down. Consistency will always beat intensity over the long run. But to be consistent, you first need to identify and commit towards it in your own mind. Maybe make subtle changes in your everyday environment too. If you have made it till here, give this video a like. Hope this video have been helpful to you till here in some way, in some form. See, through this channel, I'm trying to reach out to working professionals or business owners, people like you and me, like a community of human beings who are trying to make sense of their ambitions and their options in everyday life. And if you are wondering if you are alone in being ambitious but lazy, let me remind you that this is a community of millions. We all have this feeling, and through this channel, I'm trying to get a few of us together. So feel free to subscribe. I welcome you to be a part of this amazing group of potentially underrated but beautiful human beings at heart. I'm also working on a handbook, sort of a companion for those days of hustles and grinds. Once it's ready, the link will appear in the description. And that brings me to the final argument of today: burnout and perfectionism. Let's welcome these two Johnnies of procrastination. A big round of applause for Mr. Burnout and Mr. Perfectionism. Let's first deal with Mr. Burnout. See, we all have our day jobs and we are like those white breads in breakfast, already browned to perfection by the end of our days, right? Now, trying to build new habits on top of a burnt out state, which are even aggravated sometimes, is not a great foundation for starters. Believe me. By the time you are back home and after a long day, you want to become a couch potato for a while, you are not just free, you are rather empty, exhausted, blanked out. And then on top of that, expecting yourself to start a second shift, like a new skill, a side hustle project, extremely demanding. But we still need to, right? So why not practice a bit of self-compassion? Talk to yourself like you would be talking to your best bud. Scale down your goal into bite-sized pieces. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour max. A human mind may not function beyond that after a full day of hustle. But if you mess up on few days, it's okay. Excuse yourself, accept and move on. Let me tell you, this particularly has been one of my biggest personal challenge and I'm learning to overcome it. Our next journey of procrastination. Welcome, Mr. Perfectionism. You have a clear idea of what success looks like. So you wait. You wait until you have the perfect plan. You wait until you feel ready for the conditions to be ideal. But perfect never comes. Ready never comes. Ideal never comes. My take on it, honestly speaking, from the experiences I have gathered from running this YouTube channel single-handedly, quality can come later. Consistency always should come first. After consistency, you will automatically come to know which nuts and bolts to tighten through continuous feedback and learnings. From childhood, we learned that failure is opposite of success. But in reality, doing nothing is rather opposite of success, not failure. Do you agree? So build a process. Do something. Do it in baby steps and remove distractions. Yes, every time you are removing a distraction, you are removing an additional decision to be made. And every less decision you have to take, you create more time for yourself for focusing on your goals. So tell me in the comments below, what are you going to try to start on today? Maybe something new, or maybe something old, an idea that has been waiting for long for your new system to come up, for it to take off. Execute on your ambition. You do not need any more motivation or willpower. Trust me, all you need is a better system, and you are going to build it by yourself. You are ambitious, but the lazy days are over if you decide they are. Start with just 2 minutes. Start today. Maybe start with subscribing to this channel, this community. Thanks for watching. See you in one of these here.